Good day, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Military and Foreign Affairs Network. I am your host, the voice of reason. Well, today we're continuing our ongoing coverage of events taking place in Syria, as well as the ongoing war between the Russian Federation, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, and its Ukrainian proxy forces. Now, very incredible events happening right now in Syria. Unfortunately, these incredible events are not good events. These are very serious happenings that are going to have serious and negative ramifications for the entire world. Essentially, right now, what you have in Syria. So, look, Syria is going to be renamed, in all probability, the Islamic State of Sham. That is going to be the new name for Syria. You will see the establishment, or are seeing the establishment, of a caliphate, of an Islamic Sunni caliphate in Damascus. That is happening real time. You're watching it. Now, this is the new leader of the Islamic State of Sham, formerly known as the Syrian Arab Republic. He goes by the name Abu Mohammad Al-Julani. Now that is not his real name. His real name is Ahmed Hussein al-Shara. He was born in Saudi Arabia to Syrian parents in exile in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. He becomes radicalized late 90s, 2000s, eventually finds himself fighting in Iraq, yes, on the part of Al-Qaeda in Iraq. And eventually he is captured by U.S. forces. He's placed in prison in Iraq. And then at some point, we believe around 2013, he is, or even before that, he is released and suddenly has a large pile of money and proceeds to go back to Syria and starts the Al-Nusra Front, which is essentially Al-Qaeda in Syria. And he would rub elbows very closely. He was part of essentially what was part of ISIS. So this is what you are getting now in Syria. This is what CNN is rebranding him as. Look at that. Just a little bit of twisting, and there you have it. The new moderate leader of Syria. Right. This is him right here. Okay. Make no mistake of it. Al-Nusra Front has taken over Syria. Al-Qaeda has taken over Syria. I mean, it's absolutely incredible what has happened and is happening right now. It's possible that Assad may be dead. Bashar al-Assad. There are multiple reports that indicate his plane crashed or was shot down and he was killed in that crash. Now, that has not been confirmed. We are still trying to ascertain whether that happened or not. But that is what is making the rounds right now, that Bashar al-Assad is dead. So how did all this happen? How did all this happen so quickly? Well, I think at this point, the Israelis have to be second-guessing themselves. They have to be asking, look, did we do the right thing by launching these decapitation strikes against Syrian military leadership? Now, look, late September, there was an Israeli strike that may have killed Maher Assad. the brother of Bashir Assad. Meir was the de facto leader of the 4th Armored Division. Obviously, was crucial to regime security. And his death, if he was killed, and other members of this inner circle of Bashar al-Assad were targeted and killed by the Israelis, including mid-level to higher-level officers. There have been numerous Israeli strikes against Syrian command and control. And this is what has led to where we're at right now. But not only that, you have a al-Nusra front that was rebranded by the West to be this quote-unquote moderate force of Syrian opposition members that are trying to free Syria. Look, these guys are not trying to free Syria. These guys are trying to establish an Islamic Caliphate in Syria. Now, you're seeing this euphoria. You're seeing the quote-unquote people in the streets. But what you are not seeing is what's really happening or preparing to happen on the ground in what is now the Islamic State of Sham, the Damascus Caliphate. And believe you me, this Islamic State of Sham is not going to stay stagnant. It is not. Once it completes house cleaning operations in Syria, once it rids itself of the Alawites, of the Christians who remain in Syria, it is going to fundamentally transform Syria, again, into the Islamic State of Sham. And that is going to then metastasize. These Islamic caliphates do not stay stagnant. They always metastasize. And you are going to see that happen in Syria. Now, why should the Israelis be concerned? Well, let's go back to this gentleman. Mr. Mohammad, right? It's always got to be Mohammad, Durka. Al-Julani. Well, he renamed himself that because of the Golan Heights. He's basically renamed himself Mohammad Al-Julani of the Golan Heights, meaning the occupied areas of Syria by the Israeli military. So what does that tell you? Where does his true compass lie? What direction? Yeah, it's down here. Yeah, what a nightmare. I mean, this is just going to become a utter nightmare, not just for the people living in the former Syrian Arab Republic, now the Islamic State of Sham, but for, in all probability, the people of Jordan, the people of Iraq, even Turkey, even moderate Turks. You better be concerned, because this is going to be a staging area of extreme hardline Sunni Islamist movement. That is what you're going to see. Now, in the short term, you have to look to the Syrian coast. Latakia, Tartus, and the Alawites living in this area. The mainstream media, they even have the gall just to rebrand this terrorist to to claim that the Alawites are rejoicing. Alawites have to be terrified of this joker. Have to be. Beyond a reasonable doubt. And then the arming of the al-Nusra Front by CIA, by the Turks, by, NATO, North Atlantic Treaty Organization. You look at the military operation that occurred in the last week by al-Nusra, by these hardcore jihadists. A lot of what they did was, in terms of tactics and strategy, mainly tactics, battlefield tactics, were what is happening on the battlefields of the Ukraine. The mass use of drone warfare. And more importantly, real-time intelligence. Real-time intelligence provided by the United States, Turkey, NATO, that gave al-Nusra and Turkey targeting data to attack Syrian commanders. The opening stages of this al-Nusra Front offensive that took control of Aleppo was preceded by command and control decapitation strikes, both on the ground, and they deny this, but in the air as well, using Israel to target and decapitate key leaders of the Syrian military, including possibly Maher Assad. Look, any person who understands general human behavior, look, Bashir al-Assad, not a warrior, right? He goes to England, goes to medical school. He's a doctor. He's an optometrist. We don't even believe he wanted this role. The guy that was running the military op side of this, in regards to the Assad family, was Maher Assad. If you look at those two characters, and then with the elimination of possibly Maher Assad, we think that is what really took the Assad regime to the breaking point. Who else does he turn to? And then hence what has happened. Again, a combination of things. But these Israeli decapitation strikes, the technology, the amount of money that has been ejected into al-Nusra Front, where do you think all this money comes from? How do you think al-Nusra Front was able to do what it's doing right now? You really believe that it spawned out of a town of Idlib? That they just all decided to get together and create a really good fighting force and launch this offensive? No, absolutely not. A lot of outside help. Massive amounts. CIA, NATO, Turkey, Israel, all had their hand in this. And I have to wonder that, were they looking to... I think they miscalculated. I believe what they were trying to do was pressure Aleppo. Take control of Aleppo. which would then draw Russian resources back into this conflict. Would draw Iranian resources away from Hezbollah and possibly attacking Israel to trying to shore up the ongoing war against al-Nusra Front. But they miscalculated. They went too far. And what they didn't predict, they meaning Israel, the United States, Turkey, was this rapid collapse of the Syrian government. I don't think they believed it would get this out of hand. And now it has. Now they're going to have to sleep in the bed that they have made. And this is going to be a nightmare. A nightmare of nightmares. You thought Iraq was bad. Holy Jesus Christ. This is just going to be unprecedented. Again, and it's going to metastasize. It's going to start in Syria. And it's going to expand from there. Dire, dire situation. That is just going to get absolutely worse. But we're going to continue to cover. We're going to continue to report. As always, thanks for joining us. Have a good day.